Joining us now to react for more, the president's nominee to run the Voice of America, Kari Lake. Kari, good to see you.
Good to see you. I wish it were just buffalo wings that we were buying, but unfortunately, it's billions of dollars in the most obscure, insane projects. I mean, you went through some of them. I think the world is thanking us right now for stopping this insanity that, for some reason, USAID was trying to inflict on these unsuspecting countries.
Yeah, people had no idea that any of this was happening. I'll be honest, Kari, you were in the media for a long time. Up until 3 weeks ago, I didn't even know that USAID had purview over programs like this. I knew there were some crazy programs out there, but I had no idea that it was to this extent. Turns out that the waste extends to the media. I didn't realize this, but it makes a lot of sense. It explains a lot about Politico. This is Caroline Levitt today about the money that Politico is getting from taxpayers. Take a listen.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now.
Well, that explains a lot, Kari. Politico was one of the very first to publish that the Hunter Biden laptop story was fake back in 2020. Might have cost Donald Trump the election. And they're getting $8 million from the taxpayers.
That and the Russiagate stories that they continually perpetuated and the anti-Trump TDS stories. You know, I'll tell you just personally, Politico has written no fewer than 50 attack stories and smear stories on me that were not true. And to find out, you know, as I ran for governor and U.S. Senate, that this big organization, Politico, is funded by our own government, paid for by my tax dollars and many others, and they're actually targeting and going after candidates such as myself or President Trump or many others is absolutely horrifying. I've had more people, and I read this online, saying, why are we paying taxes if our money is going toward pushing sex changes in Guatemala, DEI, you know, musicals in Ireland, operas that are transgender in Colombia, and then funding the fake news, which is going up against the people of this great country? Why are we paying our taxes if that's where our tax money is going?
Yeah, and not keeping the American people informed. People had no idea. You think about what's going on in Maui after the wildfires, Waukesha, Wisconsin. You think about North Carolina, Florida after the hurricanes, East Palestine. J.D. Vance was there on Monday. What if we took that $8 million we were sending to Guatemala so they can have a laugh riot, a transgender laugh riot? Why not just give that to the people there? So they can 100%. Rebuild and clean up their water. I just want to ask you. And then
also why was Politico and these other outlets were finding out money from USAID was going to the BBC and other news outlets that were pushing a COVID agenda that was destructive to our health and our businesses and our economy, and that was worldwide. They've been dishonest when it comes to the 2020 election and how elections are run. We've been led astray by the media, and the fake news has been run in part and paid for in part by the federal government. I think Elon Musk, who, by the way, the American people did vote for, they voted for President Trump knowing he was going to come in and start to clear out the waste, has cracked open and reached the center of the corrupt deep state and broken this thing wide open. And I think that the USAID has not just been criminal in what they've been doing. I think that Washington, D.C. is a crime scene because of what we're exposing right now. And I thank Elon Musk for putting his life on hold for a bit to come in and help us sort through all of this for the people of this country.
Elon Musk, who was a darling of the left like 10 minutes ago, the most successful electric car company in history, and he is an enemy of the people, according to Democrats. Kari, the party is so lost. As an example, The Guardian with a piece a day ago that Democrats are eyeing Kamala Harris for a 2028 presidential run. Right now, they're devising her political comeback. The Miami Herald had a poll over the weekend.
Can I have a standing ovation and
I'm with
applause for that?
I'm with you. The Miami Herald,
that's great.
They did a poll over the weekend. A majority of Democrats say they would vote for Kamala if the 2028 election were held today. And I'm thinking to myself, they have learned nothing from what happened 3 months ago today.
Well, no, you know what? I look at the date down there, January 31st. You know, February hit like a ton of bricks, and this entire country and the world has shifted. Look what's happened since January 31st. We've seen as USAID story has broken, we're watching where hundreds of billions of dollars is going in our tax money. We're watching President Trump go in and say, we're going to help with Gaza, get the Palestinian people out, get them to safety, and we're going to rebuild. I mean, everything is changing so much that the media can't catch up. And I actually think there's a lot of Democrats out there scratching their heads saying, wait, I didn't realize my tax dollars were going to fund the media and all of these other ridiculous, line items that you have brought up.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Kari, I always enjoy having you on. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you, Rob.